Hey guys, what's going on? So in the video today, I'm very excited because in today's video, I'm going to be talking about these amazing new Chelsea boots from Benzein, one of the most prominent new Indonesian boot makers on Instagram right now, at least that I'm aware of. Now, I've reviewed Renav Goods and I've reviewed Tahura Boots Co., but also Benzein is one of the front runners right now in terms of like Indonesian makers, and this is a Chelsea that I did through the Boot Avengers. This is a group MTO order. This is in Law Tanning's Navy Shrunken Bison. This is just a stunning leather. It's a stunning boot and flawless all around, really. So before I start talking about the boot, let's talk about this box. I think this is a really cool box, a really cool logo that it has on it, and it came with some really nice Benzein boot bags as well. The only thing I was disappointed in is they didn't include any laces. Just kidding. You don't use laces on a Chelsea boot, so that's why there are no laces. All right, so let's get into it, shall we? This is known as the 7th Chelsea boots. It's the Kujang Last. This is in a size, now I'm normally a size 9D in US dress shoes and an 8.5 in most US boot brands. So this is a 41.5 wide. So I guess that the 41.5 is their equivalent of an 8.5, I assume. We also went with wide width. The upper is Navy Bison from Law Tanning. The lining is, we've got tan lining, we've got a single midsole, a Dr. Sole off-white outsole, half sole. We've got the welt color is natural. The edge color is antique brown. Very nice. The welt stitch is white. We've got Welt Shown construction, 270 degrees with an unstructured toe box, and the elastic is black. And so I went back and forth with them on the sizing, and I sent them measurements and things like that. Wow. And so yeah, we've been coordinating this order since February of 2021. So this is the Boot Avengers Chelsea with Bison leather from Law Tanning. The Boot Avengers, they each got their own unique makeup. Every pair was a little bit different, and I'll show a picture of all the boots in the shot. And so what's pretty cool too is that it was the Boot Avengers that reached out to Law Tanning to develop this Navy Bison. This is, I believe, a Palisades Bison. Yeah, so this is a Palisades. Palisades is premier shrunken bison featuring a color palette of fashion colors and a polished surface grain. As with all bison, the grain will vary within the side and from side to side. This unique grain pattern is characteristic of American bison. So it's full grain, side leather, shrunken bison, large scale varying grain pattern, medium temper. The Palisades it's got more of a vibrant color to it compared to, I believe the stuff that Truman has used up till now is Bighorn bison. These are my Truman boots in Cognac Shrunken Bison, which is Bighorn, and then these are my Truman boots in Black Shrunken Bison, also Bighorn. So the Bighorn Bison is going to be more of like more natural color to it, whereas the Navy Shrunken Bison, it's a Palisades, so it's going to be a little bit more like they said, a fashion appearance, more of an artificial color to it, whereas the Bighorn has much more of a natural coloration about it. It's just all in how they tan the leather. Like this Navy Palisades Bison is completely struck through. I see blue all the way through it, especially on the pull tab here. You can see I can see the blue all the way through, you know, to the other side. It's not like the Navy's just surface. The blue does go all the way through, but it's just got a little bit more of a shinier, more of a synthetic color look to it as compared to the Bighorn. And that's, I think, why Truman uses the Bighorn Bison and nothing else is for that reason, is because Truman likes, you know, leathers like this that, you know, accentuate the leather's natural appearance in a lot of cases. That's just the lowdown on Palisades, Bison versus Bighorn. Both of these are all from Law Tanning. It's all Shrunken Bison. It's just they do different lines and different tannages. Every tannery just does different stuff. So, you know, like Phil says, Phil at Ashland Leather, he says, leather is a language. Yes, it's very much a language. And unfortunately, this is gonna lead me to my next point in the video is I think I'm gonna need to get these remade, because as much as the length works out for me with this pair, I think the wide just made it a little bit too big for my foot type. Now I haven't worn these yet. I just tried them on once. I didn't walk around in them at all. Like I just put my foot in them and it's like, yeah, these are too big. I could kind of tell by the instep here. Now my instep is normally the part of my foot right here that gives me pain. It's normally the part that gets squished, especially if we're talking like an unstructured toe. That's the part of the foot that gets squished. And so here we have a nice generous instep, but because it's a wide width, I think it's just a little bit too big for my foot. It's not that I can't make them work, it's just that they're just too big for me. Like, in fact, it's weird too, because these are my J. Crew Chelseas, and these are size 8.5, and the fit is exactly perfect, spot on. Now, what's interesting is the length on the J. Crew ones are longer. With Chelsea boots, it's how they affix to your foot, right? And where they affix is at the instep. Same with Cowboy boots, same with engineer boots. Since they're not a lace up, since you can't control for the fit with the laces, it has to be a perfect fit from the shape perspective. So the length is actually shorter on the Benzeins. The Benzeins are just a little bit shorter. The J. Crew ones are a little bit longer, but as you can see, when I'm talking heel to toe, these are longer as compared to the heel to toe on the Benzeins, right? So you can see the Benzeins are a little shorter, but look at the instep now. This instep is a lot less volume than this instep. You see this instep, how it's much more, you have a lot more of a, especially right here, this is what is causing my fit issue. It's right here where it's just not supporting my foot enough. So I think I need to go down a width on these, and for that reason, unfortunately, I do have to sell these. I have too big of a rotation, and it's not that I can't make these work, it's just that moving forward with my large rotation, I need stuff to fit me, you know, spot on. And so this is not by any means Benzein's fault. It's just part of the ordering boots from a remote location overseas, in this case, Indonesia. All my other sizing has been wonderful. It's been mostly spot on. I think that I am done playing around with widths. I think that as much as I like a generous fit, I think a D width is just the right fit for me. So these are a 41.5 wide, and so I wear an 8.5 D in most US boot sizes. This is probably going to fit similar to like an 8.5 double E or triple E. For example, like these Trumans here, these Trumans are pretty much a perfect fit. Yeah, the length seems to be about the same, but because the Truman boots lace down, the fit is spot on, whereas with the Chelseas, again, you just see this large instep here. So I would say if you typically wear like a 9D in dress shoes or an 8.5 in US boots and you have a large instep and you typically need a wide width, I would say that these would be a good fit for you. I'm just trying to sell these for what I bought them at, which was 400 bucks, and I'll include shipping. So if anybody's interested, DM me on Instagram, or you can email me at arrowsurferlv@aol.com if you're interested in picking these up. Again, I haven't worn these, I just tried them on, and they're a phenomenal boot. Anywhere else, you'll end up paying double what I paid for these, $800, $900, $1,000, depending on the maker, how busy they are, and their supply and demand. You could easily end up paying way more. So 400 bucks for these is a really good deal, and that's what I paid for the group MTO price. So that will also be your price. Again, I'm not trying to gouge, I'm just trying to make back what I spent on them. We've got a really thick midsole here for tons of support, and then we've got the Dr. Sole, which is just phenomenal, and it's all finished just perfectly. I mean, really what you'd expect from a top tier cobbler. This is perfectionist's work. There was not a single corner cut in making these boots. We've also got a pull tab, which is good. You want a pull tab on a Chelsea to get your foot in there. I hope that my next go, I think I'm gonna talk to them, you know, see about going for a D width on my next go around. Very, very impressed with these. We've got the Benzein symbol stamped down there. On the inside also says Benzein on the insole. We've got the Velt shown, and this is the Kujang last. It's got a nice point to it. Really beautiful silhouette. One hell of a tank of a Chelsea boot. I believe it was Adam Grimm and JD, One Damn 8 and Vision, who reached out to Law Tanning to get this Navy Palisades developed. So this color wasn't even in production until the Boot Avengers started talking to Law Tanning about it. So I think that's really cool as well. So the Boot Avengers had their hand in the production of this leather also, which is just stellar. I also want to add that these are hole cut, and they're just stitched along the seam back here. They're fully lined as well, but these are hole cut boots, meaning unlike these J. Crew ones, these are not hole cut. You can see the front of the vamp and the quarter is one piece, and you can see that intersect right here. And then we've got another panel here, and then we've got a double back strip back here. These are not hole cut. It's actually hard to do hole cut boots in a lot of cases. These are my Grantstones in Grantstone Chelseas in black calf from the Annonay Tannery. A phenomenal boot built on their Eurolast, nice sleek in the toe, just a phenomenal boot. These are also a perfect fit. Again, these are not hole cut, so we've got the vamp and the quarter here, and then you can see where it meets the back panel right here. This little seam is where they stitched another panel here, and then when we've got the back strip there. So little size comparison here. So the Grantstones do look like they're just a little bit longer than the Benzeins, but again, look at the instep area, right? The Benzeins have a lot of volume here, whereas the Grantstones don't. The Grantstones hug just perfectly right here. And the width, you can see the width as well. The Grantstones are going to be D width, whereas the Benzeins are wide. That's another reason for the that's another reason for the misfit on the Benzeins. So anyways, that'll do it for now. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. What do you think about these amazing boots? I am sad that they didn't work out, but again, hopefully these will go to a home where they'll get lots of love, lots of wear. I think they're wild in the best possible way. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on these. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. You can follow me on Instagram. My username is AeroSurferLV. And anyways, take care, and I'll see y'all in my next video.